Well, hello there. There was a time when consumers got their mortgage loans through banks or credit unions, right? But today there are a lot of home financing providers. So which one is the right one for you? That's what we're talking about today on the Catalyst Report. I'm Amy Lewis from the KFBK Morning News, 5 to 9 on KFBK. You know who this guy is, right? Brandon Hafley from Catalyst Mortgage. So Brandon, let's kind of look at the options and we'll talk about that today, all right?
Sounds good. Let's do
Good to
this.
go. Let's do it. Okay, so what's the difference between a lender, a broker, and a bank, right? So let's kind of break this down. Let's take them one by one and talk about, say, the risks and the benefits of dealing with each one. So let's start with direct lenders.
So going back to what you just said, there's banks, independent lenders, and then you have brokers. And really, each one can benefit all consumers, but it comes down to, for your situation, is a bank better than working with a lender or working with a broker? When you start with banks, and a bank is great at specialty like jumbo products. Right now, across any of the lenders or any company you work with, banks have the lowest rates on jumbo. Hands down, they have the lowest rates. Then you go to an independent mortgage lender, they still do the same loans as a bank does, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the conforming loans. Mm-hmm. But their pricing is most likely going to be better. Traditionally, independent lenders and brokers have better interest rates than a bank does. So then an independent lender can maybe do various products. They can go down to a lower credit score. They might be able to do a more complicated loan. And then you go to a broker. And a broker will essentially broker the loan to a bank or to another mortgage lender that they might have 40 or 50 different outlets, including maybe a hard money loan if you can't qualify on credit. So that's kind of the basic three.
So if you're a young couple and you're just starting out, is there one or the other that's better to go with?
Well, it kind of depends on each person's scenario, and we go back to this every time. Every customer has their own picture. They have their own financial background. Banks are great if you have a financial picture with them, you have your account. People really think that, hey, I can go to my bank, that's who I trust. But 9 times out of 10, if a bank says, hey, we can't do this because your credit score's a little too low, you could go to a mortgage lender or a broker, and they'd be able to do your loan. Perfect example is a VA loan. Many banks restrict, right around the 600, credit score, maybe 620 even. Well, if you go to an independent mortgage lender or a broker, you can sometimes go down to 500, 520, 550 credit. So the point is, always check with different lenders when you're getting pre-approved.
But you said it right there, though, Brandon. You said that people know and trust their bank. Like some people have been, even if they're young couples, they've been with their bank since they were, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. So how do they know that they can move away from their bank and trust a direct lender or a mortgage?
Well, I think we've seen since the financial crisis, people have lost trust in banks also.
You have a point there.
But, it's important when shopping that I always tell people, shop with at least 2 different types of entities. And really meaning call your local bank and say, because again, banks still are good when it comes to doing loans. They have excellent people. But when you're getting pre-approved, you want to get differences of opinions. You want to talk to an independent mortgage company, and then you also want to talk to a bank and see how they talk about products, what products they have available. We hear many companies have been coming out with a 3%, mortgage on a purchase to buy with 3% on a conventional loan. Well, that's been around for mortgage lenders and brokers. It's been available for years. I mean, it's nothing that's, dramatically different, but banks are advertising it that way. So my point is, you always want to talk to 2 different, at least to get a real, unbiased, opinion for yourself.
So in other words, go to your bank, talk to them.
Absolutely.
Call up a direct lender or call up a mortgage company and talk to them as well.
Correct.
When I hear that, and I think when people hear that, they think, oh my gosh, that is going to be so much work for me. But when you're looking at a, $200, $300, $400,000 purchase, put a little bit of work into it.
Exactly. And it sounds like a lot of work, but think about it. How much time do you put into buying a car? How much do you put in, you're going to go to a big weekend, you're going to go buy an outfit.
Test drive 10 of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take some time, open the phone book, go online and look at reviews, look at testimonials from previous customers on different websites, but shop around and just take the time, because the 3 differences in companies can definitely benefit you. And I do want to clarify real quick that when I say brokers are also, equivalent to a mortgage lender, I really do think that brokers in our community have a great resource of lenders, because essentially a broker is going to broker a loan to 10, 20, 30, 40 lenders that might have different products. I mean, let's say you can only document your income via bank statements. Well, brokers still have access to that kind of stuff. Or if you need to go stated income and you have a lot of equity, and or you're a foreigner. I mean, there's your foreign income.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resources they have that a bank would not be able to do, and sometimes not even a mortgage lender would be able to do. So you have to just understand that each has its own great pieces to it. Just look at them all.
That's a lot of stuff. But you know what I've always said, knowledge is power. I mean, seriously, knowledge is power. You owe it to yourself to make sure that you know what you're talking about, right? And that's why we're doing this with the Catalyst Report. Be sure to listen on Monday mornings, too, from 7 to 8 on KFBK for the Catalyst Report. And go to catalystmortgage.com for all the information about this that you need.